Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hunters Entertainment. Specifically, we have an awesome show that we are doing today. Specifically, this was a lot of people asked for us to do an Alice is Missing. And then we kind of held off on it because we were like, hey, we're going to have to do Alice is Missing right with the right bunch of people to do it. And guess what? Perfect storm, kismet happened. And that is what is happening today. Hello, everyone. I'm Markia McCarty. I am the marketing manager and also kind of like a resident GM for Hunters Entertainment. And we have an amazing group of people together right now to do Alice is Missing, which is a silent tabletop RPG, also known as a TTRPG, if you are not aware. Literally, all of the relationships and connections that are going to happen. And I will go more into this in a second after we introduce our players today. All of that will happen silently. It will happen over text that you will be able to see. It's not just us going like this. So yes, let's go ahead and I'm just going to go clockwise around myself. I don't know how that looked for y'all, but for me, there it is. And we'll go ahead and start with Malika. Please go ahead and introduce yourself, a tidbit about yourself, and who you'll be playing for us today for Alice is Missing. You don't have to go too much in detail. That will be part of our character build.
Great. Thank you, Markia. My name is Malika Lim Eubank. I am the CEO of Hyper Rabbit Media / Hyper RPG on Twitch. We do all sorts of interactive stuff like this or not like this. I'm actually really excited. I'm admiring you guys. I'm a little bit jealous. I'm so excited to jump into the story. And I'll be playing Jack Briarwood, the older sibling, the older sister of Alice.
Excellent. I am so glad that we have you on this. We have you at a hunter's table. Yes. Fantastic. Fabulous. We're going to keep on. Oh, talking about fabulous. We have
me.
Fabian.
Hi, I'm Fabienne. I go by Magical Girl Fab everywhere. You can call me Fab if that's easier. And I make content for tabletop RPGs. I run a channel called The Scabby Rooster where we make LARP and tabletop content. And yeah, that's me.
Yes.
Oh, I'm playing Dakota, the best friend.
Excellent. We're going to keep this. I don't have a segue for it. This passion pink train running right now because we've got Emily. Please go ahead and introduce yourself, your character. Get us. Yeah, we want to get into the Emily business.
Oh, welcome to the Emily business. Hi, my name is Emily Floyd. I am the director of licensing over at Roll20, which is the virtual tabletop that we are actually going to be using to play the game today. So I'm really excited about that. And I am playing the character of Julia North today.
And yeah, and we'll get into who that person is when we get into the character building in a second. And then last but not least, the awesomeness. And I wish that I want to wear a hat. I don't wear enough hats. This hair, this hot hair going on. But please, Bendy, let us know about you.
Yes. Hi, my name is Bendy Mitchell. I am on Twitter and Twitch as Bendy Dinosaurs. It is a very, very weird little thing from the early days of the internet, of YouTube's, but I am a Twitch streamer. I work for Dark Galaxies Gaming, which is an original DM for hire company. So we run things like Curse of Strahd, just a tip of Avernus over on Roll20, and we do that during the week, which is a lot of fun. And I'm very excited to be here. And I am playing Evan Hallwell, who has a crush on Alice.
Ooh, love this. Okay, so very quickly, the first part of this will be us going into character building and world building. Anyone who's not familiar with Alice is Missing, is very much a cooperative effort for this silent role-playing game. So, but right before I get into what we are doing with this game, I just want for everyone to know that the themes that we are going to be dealing with this day, with today. Okay, so Alice is Missing is a silent role-playing game about the disappearance of Alice Briarwood. It's a high school junior in this sleepy Northern California town of Silent Hills. So we'll be using text messages with each other, like I said. I'm sorry, silent Falls. I'm a horror person, and I'm pretty sure that I said Silent Hill.
You did.
I did.
It's an easy slip.
I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this.
Yeah.
This is a horror game now,
Experiments
y'all.
in here. Let's go.
Oh,
It's the crossover we all needed but didn't know.
buckle up.
Oh my gosh, it's like the fog's down, the radio's on, and all we have is a knife. It's Silent Hill, y'all.
To be fair, Northern California town, fog, like that's it. Like where it is, everywhere there is Silent Hill in NorCal.
And okay, so for anyone who is not familiar with lines and veils, it's basically this established players' comfort levels around topics that we'll be dealing with. So circumstances around missing women often involve violence, sexual violence, date rape, teenager adult relationships, partner abuse, problems at home, victim blaming, and so on, death. And we need to know where people and players' comfort zones are. So just letting everyone that has joined us today know off the bat, we are doing a veil on gore and violence. So there won't be any description to detail of any harm done to Alice. We are doing a line on sexual non-consent, drugging, coercion, physical force threats. That's not where we live. That's not where we're going to go. And we are doing a veil on victim blaming as well. Characters can express upset toward Alice and her actions, but that doesn't mean that her actions mean that she deserves anything that happens to her. And we're all on the same page, just letting everyone know with that. And then also with our players, just a reminder, if there ever comes an X card situation, and for our audience that is not familiar with X card situations, that's just like a fade to black. I need for us to step away from this to move on with it. Go ahead and put that in Roll20 so I can hear the noise, and we can do a pause and just kind of do a backtrack on what happened to move forward, or to just kind of talk it out. This is a very emotional game. It goes to emotional places. I love this game so much. So let's continue forward. So with this, we are going to, I went over lines and veils. Yes. All right. Sorry, okay. So during the next half an hour to 45 minutes, we're going to be setting up our fictional world with our characters, who we are, our relationships to Alice and each other, and then also our town of Silent Falls. And then after that, we are going to have our 90-minute game where we inhabit these characters. We're going to gather clues. We're going to text and message each other as the story unfolds, as our characters living in this small town in Northern California. And I'll be explaining everything. But first, I'm going to go ahead and read our introduction card to set the scene for the game. So, and our players should be, and also huge thank you to Alex Hillman, our community manager, Knoxweiler Birth, one of our Twitch producers, and then also JB Jara for being our tech wizard, for us being able to have the messaging and the faces and everything that comes together right now. So, and this is our verbal cue that we are on the introduction page. And you'll see Alice, for the person that is missing, our Alice Briarwood, 16 years old, missing since December 19th. We have a missing person right here, height 5'5", 112 pounds, hair color black, eye color hazel. If you have information, please call. There is a number here. You can call this number, 530-207-0361. We're going to go ahead with our introduction card here. So Silent Falls is a small coastal forest town in the heart of Northern California. It's quiet here. And since the recession a few years ago, people are not as friendly as they used to be. It's been a rough few years for everyone. The major high school in town, Franklin Academy, lies nestled in the wooded hills on the east side. It's the last day before winter break, and students shuffle down the hallways, dusting off a light powder of snow from their jackets. It's cold today. Down the main corridor, past the barren trophy case and peeling Franklin Academy decal plastered on the wall, hangs a bulletin board. A cluster of students are gathered at it. And around the edges, we see old posters for student body elections, sign-ups for football next year, and reminders about the upcoming senior ball littered about like mouse traps. But as the students part, we land on the flyer that they were all huddling around. And that is our missing person flyer. This is our Alice, and we are going to learn more about her very shortly. But first, we are going to meet our characters. So we are going to go ahead and move over to our character creation. And do all of our players see that? Excellent. So there are a number of players. We're going to go ahead and start with my character with it, the facilitator, which is just my role in this. I'm going to be playing along just like everybody else. I am Charlie Barnes. So with Charlie Barnes, there's a number of sections on our character cards. For Charlie Barnes, let me zoom in here and say this out loud for everyone. Charlie Barnes is the one who moved away. And it has a question for here where it says background, what kind of teenager is Alice? And we have set up a couple of things pre-game. And Charlie Barnes says, for what I say for background, is that Alice is a person that does Ren Fair, is a person that cosplays, but doesn't necessarily have the skill set or the drive to make intricate costumes, but she loves to wear them. I see her as being very artistic, very passionate, and very expressive. Someone that hangs, let's say, better with the geek crowds, but can also hang with the jocks and the stoners and the valedictorians. Kind of a geeky, artistic Swiss Army knife. Now, for on here, for Charlie Barnes, you see that I have a secret. I'm not going to say that secret out loud right now, but I am going to read what the prompt is for it. Alice has been acting strange lately. How is it different from the way she usually acts? And what is she blaming for it? Now, that's something that's a secret for my character, but I will reveal the answer to that to no less than one other person for it to then spread kind of like gossip or rumors do in real life. So, and of course, before the game started, each of us left a voicemail for Alice. And my voicemail was how excited I was to see her. And that is something that we will revisit later on in the game. So moving on to our next character, Malika, can you tell us about your character? If you are able to read the card, let me know if you're not able to read the card and I'll read it out for you.
Oh,
but yeah,
I think I can. Background. Tell us about why you and your sister's home life has been so difficult these last few years. And as the older sibling, I really want my little sister to jump from the nest and spread their wings. And there's a little tension about what she wants to do after high school and what our parents want her to do after high school. And I can't tell our parents. So I want her to tell our parents, and I want her to man up, grow some or something, and just say it how it is, even if the plan is, I don't know. So I'm kind of annoyed, but of course I love my little sister. The secret is you and Alice got in a fight over something serious the day before she vanished. What was it? So that's my little secret that I have for myself.
Excellent. And then just to let the other players know, you might not know the answer to the secret, but maybe your character does know that there is some tension or specifically that happened with that you can be like, hey, so what happened with this? What's going on? And what was your voicemail?
Do I play it? Do I?
No.
Oh, just the prompt?
Yeah,
Okay.
just the prompt.
My voicemail is me apologizing for the fight.
Ah, interesting. So let's go ahead to Emily. If you can please tell us about Julia North and her card, and let me know if you can't read it.
Yeah, absolutely. I have it right here. So hi, I'm playing Julia North, the secret girlfriend. My background prompt is to talk about when Alice and I first met. So we're both big Ren Fair nerds, and we definitely met while we were both volunteering during a season at the Ren Fair one summer. I really thought she was off limits because she had a boyfriend. So I was confident it was that kind of thing where my cat obviously wants it on this, by the way. Apologies, everybody. But I was confident that I was, completely wasting my time, but everything felt flirtatious. And so I just kind of leaned into it. And then we flirted back and forth all season, like both while we were in character at the Ren Fair and then, in the evenings after when we'd grab dinner. Anyway, long story short, on the closing night cast party, we totally hooked up. And that's when everything got started. But, she still doesn't want anybody to know. So I'm okay keeping it on the DL. Like, I guess if that's what she wants, I'm just happy I get to spend time with her.
Excellent. Okay, so go ahead with your secret.
Yeah, my secret is that I recently got an anonymous message from someone regarding my relationship with Alice with a particularly creepy detail. Yeah.
Okay. And your voicemail?
Well, she didn't call me when she got home last night. So, of course, I had to call her.
Excellent. Okay. And Bendy.
So,
yeah, go ahead, Bendy.
So Evan is the one with the crush. Basically, Evan and Alice probably known each other since like the sandbox, and he's never been able to take that step. He's always just kind of been the puppy that follows Alice around and will literally do anything for her if she ever asked. He's been doing her homework for years. The rumor that he heard that he doesn't believe is true is a rumor about Alice and Julia at the Ren Fair. But because he also works there and he's been kind of apprenticing at the blacksmith booth, which is kind of like the center of everything. He's like, no, it's just Ren Fair. That's just how everybody is. Everybody flirts with each other and it's part of the scenario. And Alice could never, she wouldn't, betray her boyfriend, which is why I admire her so much. So that's kind of been part of Evan's background. And then it's the secret next, right?
Mm-hmm.
The secret, I promised Alice last week that I would hide something for her, what it is, and why I am afraid to come forward with it, if it would make me a suspect. I don't know. Yeah. And my voicemail was me asking her to go to the movies with me.
And of course, Fabian, if you can tell us about Dakota.
Yeah, so Dakota Travis is the best friend. My background was, what about Alice do other people sometimes find annoying, but you appreciate? And I said her bluntness. She doesn't sugarcoat anything. She doesn't try and, say a fake answer to make you feel better. She will tell you exactly what it is, not because she's being mean, just because she knows that you can do better and wants you to do better. And, kind of like the helpful friend kind of situation. No judgment. Again, it's just her wanting to make everyone better. The secret is you and Alice snuck out to do something you weren't supposed to do the night before she vanished. What was it?
Ooh.
And then my voicemail is making sure she's okay after that night.
Okay. All right. So you'll see underneath each person's character card, there are drive cards that have these very, very fabulous flames going on because it is literally an aggressive drive. So with these cards, they're going to give us our drive and establish our relationships with one another. You do not have to pick the card that is underneath your card. You can pick any of those, and you're going to right click and do take card to hold it in your hand, because you're going to use this drive and the information in your character card to create the person that you're going to be inhabiting during this game. So if you look into your character sheets, this is a really good time to then write down the initial thoughts once you pick your card. So I am thinking of a number 1 through 5. I'll even write it down.
2.
4.
3.
1. 1.
Okay, so okay. Because 1, Dakota's 2. Bendy, I'm sorry, you were
4.
You were 4, and Emily did 3. Okay, so Emily, you're going first. Pick whichever one that you want.
Okie dokie. It's not that it's just directly underneath me, but 3 is my favorite number, so I'm going to take this one.
Excellent. So with that, obviously people would be like, oh, but wait, 2 and 4 are the same distance, but we move forward in life. So just telling you that. So Bendy, go ahead and choose your drive. Do a take card.
I'm going to take the card that is furthest away from my card.
So then going back around then would then take us to Fab.
All right. This one's speaking to me. So we're going to take this one. I think it's a good one.
Malika, go for it, and I will take what we have left.
Right.
Okay, so go ahead and take this time. You can click on your card, and it has your drive cards in there to be able to go ahead and view. And then utilize this to get to know your character better. And you can just do a double click on it for it to just bring it right up for you. It'll show your motive, and then it'll show your relationships. So go ahead and take a second to look at your motive. If you want to go into your character sheet and go ahead and put some things down, some initial thoughts, but just saying don't get too attached to those, because your answer for anything that's on this card might be influenced by other people's responses. Okay. Just give me a thumbs up when we're good to yas. Yas. Okay, excellent. Okay, so I'm going to start with information specifically about Charlie. And so Charlie Barnes moved away from Silent Falls with her mom at the end of the last school year after her parents divorced. They're now returning to stay with her dad for winter break and are hoping to see Alice and some others while she's here. But a few days ago, Alice stopped responding, and she hasn't heard from her since. So Charlie is a she, her, but also goes by she, they, but mainly comfortable with she, her. Physical description, Charlie has blonde and purple dreads, is very expressive, always seems to, well, her clothing is more I won't say completely grunge era, but let's say grunge meets K-pop is how Charlie like presents herself in a stylistic sense. As far as her relationship with Alice, they always had a Charlie made the outfits and Alice wore them, kind of a deal, if that makes sense for everyone. And it was a really good platonic, sometimes there were undertones, relationship for them. So yeah, that's kind of who Charlie is. So if you want to, we're gonna go ahead and go in our same clockwise order and talk about who this character is. And then after that, we're going to the relationship part of your drive card. We're then going to start assigning that. So Malika, if you can please go ahead and tell us more about Jack Briarwood, the older sibling of Alice.
Yeah, Jack, short for Jacqueline, very overprotective, but a lot of fun. You know, older, big sibling, big sister, likes to dress kind of with like military stuff. I'm very practical and I'm into the Army Navy surplus store. Yeah, it all fits. I blend in, love it. But I feel like as the sibling, nobody cares about Alice as much as I do. And, you know, boyfriends, girlfriends, I don't care. You know, I'm family and blood is thicker than water.
Nice. Fab. I'm sorry, Fabian, but it was just like Fab.
Fab's good. I like Fab. Okay, so Dakota's the best friend. I imagine Dakota is like that preppy girl in high school that was like, you know, dance team, like homecoming queen, like that stuff, but like not the stereotype of like dumb. Like she was very smart. She was valedictorian, like knows what the fuck's going on, kind of lady. And yeah, I also think like her relationship with Alice, everyone seems to have had like a longer friendship with Alice or connection with Alice. And I'm thinking maybe Dakota's friendship with Alice is more like newer, like maybe just started in high school or like just this year even.
Nice. Okay, Emily.
Yeah, so Julia is like the person who got left out of kind of everything. So over the years that molded her into being very fiercely independent and not hanging with a group in high school, like not really having a lot of close friends. In fact, until doing the Renaissance Fair, she really stuck to her own at the high school and never, like, she and Alice never interacted, hung out, talked, or even really knew each other existed. To look at her, Julia is, you know, dresses quirkily, tries to kind of maybe hide her shape a little bit because she's self-conscious about her curvy body, and she dyes her hair a different color every week. The ends are absolutely fried, just like, you know, 16 and not knowing what she's doing but wanting desperately to express herself. Weirdo makeup, that sort of thing. She is head over heels for Alice, like absolutely obsessed with her, and not really sure why Alice wants to hide things, but feels like it's probably because she's embarrassed for people to know that the two of them are associated outside of a place where they are like required to hang out when they're at the Ren Fair, basically.
Oh, Bendy.
So Evan is kind of that grunge kind of alt, you know, semi-goth kid, listens to way too much Perfect Circle and Tool, has like longer curly hair, always in a band t-shirt, wears Norse jewelry all the time, like all of his jewelry that he gets from the Ren Fair. So like big pewter rings and axes. And he's just kind of been that. He was a floater for a while, but really found his own in the Ren Fair. Like, he sometimes when he's there, he truly thinks he's like a pirate or a Viking or whatever. So he gets really, really deep in it and allows him to kind of express himself more than he gets a chance to. And he's kind of like started out, both him and Alice as little kids were like super into like, Harry Potter and like all the mystical and, fairy type stuff. But like, she kind of grew out of it a little bit, he feels like, and he doesn't feel like he's on her level anymore or ever was. So he just kind of like is hoping for his chance someday.
Wow. Oh, I love these people already. Oh my gosh. They're so high school, all of them. I love this. Okay, so for our relationships, each of us has two relationships. So for the first line, that's for some other character, and then the second line is for a different character. And what we're going to do is we're going to, kind of explain the reasoning a bit. Like, for instance, for my two relationships, my first relationship, I have one where it says, I don't think you like me. And I'm going to assign that to, I think I'm going to go ahead and assign that to Evan. It's like, Evan, I think the way that I feel about this is that Charlie is like the friend that, ditched Silent Falls. Not that it's like that, but at a time when Alice would have needed Charlie, and then Charlie's just like away and only gets to come in for messages or like holidays or something when the going's good, and isn't there every day, like Evan is. But Charlie gets like Alice's attention like she is in Evan, and that's not fair. So I think Evan, that you just don't like me.
That tracks. Not out of game. Out of game, you're wonderful. No. Yeah. No. That tracks for where Evan's at. He equates a lot of lyrics in his songs to you, like the songs he listens to all the time. He like, yeah.
Malika, go ahead with Jack with your first one.
So I can read these.
Yeah, do the first one. Like, we'll do a round one and hear how everybody feels with it, and then do the round two for the second. We'll just keep it in that order.
I know you don't care about Alice as much as I do. That's directed towards Evan. I know you're besties. I feel the vibes you're putting out, Evan, and you're not family.
Ow.
And just a reminder, in your character sheets, it's actually by character. So if you want to, like, underneath yours, put in, what you feel about each person, you totally can. So let's continue. Fab.
Okay, so mine is we used to be best friends, and I think that's Charlie. I have to go into the Charlie bit me voice whenever there's a person named Charlie. But yeah, I feel like maybe it's because Charlie moved away, like we just lost contact, or like, yeah, I think that's, I don't think there's any hatred or like anger there or anything, or like we broke up. I think it's just you moved away, we lost contact, and that's it.
Okay. I agree with it. I think that tracks. I mean, I think that's good thinking.
I feel like it's one of those friendships where, like, you go away and like, yeah, you don't talk, but then once you're back together, you're like all cool. Like, oh man, it's like no day has passed. Like it's that kind of thing. We're not best friends, but we're good friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like yeah. Emily.
Yeah, let's see. So my first one is, you've always been there for me. I'm going to say that is that's Evan, because since like while Alice doesn't make it clear that I'm like a close part of her life, I feel like because we're kind of mutual weirdos, like Evan has accepted me from day one when we like hang out together at the Renaissance Fair, and like I can rely on Evan because he has my back, but like I kind of feel like if I could tell anyone about what's going on between us, it would be Evan.
Nice. Bendy.
Well, my first one is I know how you really feel about Alice. So I'm definitely going to give that one to Julia. Whereas like Evan already knows. So, and I think there's this solidarity between the two of them, which is why he continues to stay so close to her, because he knows that she cares about Alice and how do I explain it? Like he kind of will vicariously, pun intended, will live through Julia in her relationship with Alice, and secretly will kind of keep her close because then he gets to know everything Alice is doing. And if Julia's out with her, then he knows that he can tag along. So.
Oh, that's heartbreaking. I love it. I love it. That hurt me inside. Okay, so for my second one, I've always wanted you to be my friend. And for that, I feel, I kind of feel like I want to give that to Jack, where it's just like, I've always wanted you to be my friend, because it's like, hey, you know, I was the friend before I moved away, and I used to be part of the Briarwood, like I'm practically family, and now I'm just maybe more on the outs. So yeah, with Jack, I've always wanted you to be my friend, Jack. Okay, Malika.
Sure. So mine is I'm protective of you. And I think I would feel that way about Dakota. Since Dakota's the bestie, she's always been over at our house. And I don't know like what's going on with her own family, but she spends so much time with our family. And I feel like I've also decided you're my other little sibling.
Nice.
That's so sweet. So mine is you know a secret about me that I don't want shared. Oh man. Okay, so I had an idea, but now that you said that, Malika, hey Malika, do you want us to have had a relationship?
Oh, but Alice doesn't know.
Yeah, but okay. Alice doesn't know.
Alice doesn't know. Alice doesn't know.
Cool. Oh, maybe we like there was like an awkward kiss like one time when we were hanging out studying at the at your house, and it was just like we have to go. like we're not sure, we're both still not sure about it. Or something. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay.
Emily?
My next one is Alice has forgiven you for something, but I haven't. That's Dakota. Like that something has happened that is incendiary in your budding friendship. And she just saw right past it and just continues to walk the halls with you. And I just don't, why not me? Like, I don't understand.
Okay.
Why not me?
Like, why not? Just like screaming into the void. Bendy.
So my second one is we've never gotten along. And I think it's going to go to, I think Charlie, because I don't like that Charlie gets all of Alice's attention, but hasn't truly been there for her. I think Alice deserves better. Alice deserves me. And yet she gets Charlie. So that's just as much as I want to like be, in my toxic masculine feels about it, it's just like, I'm never going to truly admit my feelings about the situation, but I'm just going to kind of be under the radar, just throwing little things your way that just not fair. Not nice.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I kind of already enjoy our relationship right now because it's just like there's going to be a lot of growth possibly here, or murder. Who knows? Those are the options: growth or murder.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Absolutely.
okay. All right. So we have that aside. We're remember, keep your secrets to yourselves right now, but we have that set for there. So we are going to move on to, I have here our clue cards.
Ooh.
I say, or actually, yeah, let's do our, we have starting hunches here. All right, we can do starting hunches first. I like the clues set up. Let's see here. Oh wait, things shuffled around on my end. Okay. Yeah, we're going to go. Sorry to switch y'all around here. I just had it in a different way on my thing. So before we do clue cards, we're going to go ahead and do starting hunches. Okay, so with this, we're going to take turns. We're going to choose a card from these groups, and this is our world building portion where we're going to describe why either that suspect, you see your suspect cards at the bottom, or why that location is suspicious, what it has to do in relation to Alice's disappearance. So we're going to do that, and we're going to do reverse order of what we've done before. So if you let me know if you're having any trouble viewing these cards, and I do recommend for you to go ahead and open your character sheet to be able to write down what we establish for each thing. And I'll go ahead and go first as an informational type of a deal here. So I'm gonna choose. Let's see. Okay. I'm gonna choose the suspect, CJ Wallace, aka the Creeper. And as far as how this person is suspicious in relation to Alice's disappearance, I'm going to say that CJ Wallace is actually pretty young and doesn't go to Franklin Academy. Let's say, that would start at 9th grade. Let's say they're 7th or 8th grade. And CJ is just always seen in the wrong place at the wrong time. Something bad has happened. And CJ always just seems to be there with a notepad and also some goggles. So not cigarette butts, but like when you see the binoculars and everything, it's like wherever there's trouble, CJ seems to wind up there. And as far as the disappearance of Alice, I'm pretty certain that CJ probably saw something somewhere. So it's just, let's say an 8th grader, always in the wrong place at the wrong time, always looking, always watching, always with a notepad. Okay, and also to keep in mind, with this, we're going to choose a suspect and we're going to choose a location, each person. So that is my suspect that I'm choosing. And I'm not tying CJ to a location because they've got to be able to float around. And then also, I'm not going to tie him to my character. It has to be something that anybody can interact with, or the location has to be something that anyone can go to. Okay, so that one is mine for CJ, just always the wrong place, wrong time. And I'm gonna just go ahead and do a location real quick at the same time as well. And each of you feel free to do a suspect and a location. I'm gonna do why the lighthouse on the Howling Sea Cliffs. And I'm gonna do that as that is a makeout point. Yeah. So it's like people go there to like not be seen, which is funny because it's a lighthouse. But let's say, yeah, but it's like nobody goes out there except for people that just kind of want to disappear for a while with somebody else. So I'm making that one a makeout point. Yeah. So if y'all want to write that in your character sheets, that lighthouse is makeout point, and CJ always in the wrong place at the wrong time and always watching. So Bendy, if you can do a suspect, describe why they're suspicious, and then also location and why it's suspicious.
So I'm going to go with the ex-boyfriend, Ryan Groggins. I think that Evan probably monitored the relationship really closely and realized that like he was way too like aggressive towards Alice and just not on her level, and was like the type to be like, please don't ever break up with me, you know, and then eventually she did, and it like caused him to like really kind of rage out about it. So I'm thinking that I'm gonna have the suspected location be the state park, because I know that's where she broke up with him. Can I create that? Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So yeah, let's add one more layer to like the state park where well, so like she broke, because we don't want to tie too much to a person and a suspect in a location.
Got it. Okay. For me, probably there's a lot of legends around the state park, the, you know, things that go missing in the lake, things that haven't been, you know, retrieved or seen again. I've also seen a lot of horror movies, and I know that weird things happen in places like that. It's very secluded. It's an easy way to ditch stuff or like something to go down and no one know about it. So that's why Evan's real focused on that.
Okay. When things or people go missing, it's probably because of the state park. Yeah, and great dumping ground for like evidence and the such. Excellent. Okay. And yeah, we're going reverse order. Emily.
Yeah, okay, let's see. I am going to go with David Nelson, the popular kid, because you know, I have so many harsh and negative feelings about her attention toward people that maybe seem cooler to hang out with than me. But in particular, like she never spent a lot of time with David, but he's just always seemed to be around. And she even though like I would never hear her like talk about him that much, so it's clear that he wasn't important to her. Like, then why was he always at all the same parties as her? Why was he like always showing up in the group photos on Insta? Like, something was going on there that just didn't seem right. So he seems especially suspicious to me.
Okay. Let's put I love this because I kind of picture him as in like in K-dramas, like he walks into a room and it's slow motion and there's a light and there's music. So I love that for David. Let's put a layer onto him where it's like any character can also interact with him as a popular kid and why he's suspicious. So it's not just why he's suspicious to you, but why he's suspicious in general.
I see what you're saying. Okay. So, I mean, I think that's the reason why he's popular is because, like, no one actually likes him. He has a lot of money, but no one actually enjoys having him in the room. So the fact that he seems to be able to keep using that influence when we're high school kids and don't care about money just seems especially strange.
Okay. So maybe he's got like, you know, the manners of like a really crappy person, but he's got the money to buy his way into places.
Yeah.
Love that. In your location, we're gonna flip him over, and I'll go ahead and do that while you do your location.
Yeah. For the location, I'll pick the train station. You know, we're a pretty small town and there's only like 4 trains that come through on the weekends, and like that's it's less than that during the week. There's no such thing as peak here in Silent Falls. So it's a pretty unpopulated train station. And the result is that it's really run down. There's no security cameras. It's just always got a creepy vibe. And it's got this sense of like the town doesn't really need it. So why would anyone ever go there?
Oh, does it have that crime vibe? Like,
Yeah.
this is where crimes happen.
Exactly. Like, it's when you're giving someone a tour of the town, you do not take them past that train station.
Okay. Excellent. And if you can flip that over for me, that would be
You got it.
great. Okay. Fab.
Okay. I will go with Mr. Halvert, the history teacher. I think maybe like Alice's like best subject is history, and like she really loves spending extra time like after school, like learning more about history and stuff. And like maybe that's like, I don't know, like that's the subject that she's like really connected with and passionate about. And it's just she spends extra time like after school or in office hours with the history teacher.
Okay. So what's another layer that we can put onto Mr. Halvert? Like, okay, so Alice spends a lot of time with him. Is it that everyone does, or is it that he is he like, you know,
oh, okay, what makes him like even more
teacher?
sus?
It's like, what makes him sus for everyone?
Okay.
Because like that just, you know, it's just
yeah.
Alice disappeared. I'm not in his class, but
yeah, I think like maybe it's Mr. Halvert was last year's history teacher, and she spends all this extra time like why is this teacher who isn't our current history teacher spending extra time with a future student? Like that there's something like weird about that. Like, teachers typically don't do that, right? Like for extra credit or something. I don't know.
okay. So how about we say that he was like our history teacher last year, and then all of a sudden he's not working anymore.
Okay, yeah.
But
yeah. That's great.
We don't know why. He's not working, but he's taking special pupils, and Alice was one of them.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds good. And then I think I want to do the Dripping Dagger nightclub. I think it's a really popular nightclub that's in the city that a lot of the students here go to during the weekends. And it's an 18 and up club, but they don't always check ID.
Oh, okay. So
they're like, it's like the club that we know that we can get into with the seniors, even though like, you know, technically we're not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Kind of situation. We all take advantage of it.
Nice. Is there anything like going on there? Is it like, oh yeah, we can totally drink there, and there's a VIP back room or something?
Yeah, I guess like I don't. Yeah, maybe it's just like a really gross club. Like it's not a
gross club.
It's like a gross nightclub. It's not an upscale like fancy nightclub, and maybe that's why they don't really check ID, is because they're trying to survive, and there's just, you know, like if you don't check ID, that means anyone could come.
Yeah, they're a dive lounge.
Yeah.
I love our town, y'all. We got so many rundown places, urban legend places. I would have a field day in this town, I'll be honest.
I mean, I've been to this nightclub once in my life.
I think we've all been to this nightclub.
Absolutely.
We've all been here. Malika, if you can take us home with our suspect and location.
Sorry. Sure. Bria Brown is the school bully, I guess. But they've been gone from school for like a long time. Maybe a couple months even. Don't really remember. People didn't really keep track of them. Was very glad to not see so much like prank stuff happening with lockers and toilet paper and things like that. And what makes them kind of suspicious to kind of everybody is you're gone for months, you know, you kind of left end of last school year. You weren't here for the beginning of this school year. And then you show up and you're back to your regular hijinks, and people ask you where you've been. And you said, "Oh yeah, I was really sick out with a peanut allergy." I'm like, "Yo, does that put you in the hospital for months?" It doesn't really line up to me.
Oh, okay. So they're like suddenly back just when Alice disappeared.
Yeah. You know, there's some rumors. Maybe people were like, maybe they were pregnant. I don't know. Yeah, you know.
It's like we have no idea what was going on with them. It's like that was a months long peanut allergy, and that doesn't really go away. So it's like, okay,
yeah,
that's sus.
Don't you just get like an injection and then the hives come down? Like that's kind of weird.
Yeah. And then just when Alice disappears, now here they are.
Yep.
Like everybody else was here this entire time. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the old barn on Cambridge Street.
All right. So I think this is like the kind of place. First of all, it's like a family owns it, but they're not actively using it. It's not an active barn. It's kind of the spooky barn. That's what the kids always say. And sometimes, like when the kids have a dare, like I dare you to spend a night in the spooky barn, that's where they go. So lots of creep or jump off the second floor into the hay bales or something. That's like the place where like the kids kind of like haze each other, you know?
Okay. Like maybe the higher levels, like the upperclassmen, that's where they'll haze freshmen and sophomores.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, okay, I like that. I like all of this. I like all of this so much. Okay. So these are our starting hunches with like different locations and our suspects. These are common knowledge. Everyone can interact with these and continue forward. All right. So what we're going to go into is our clues. And then for JB, our tech person, I'm going to go over to our clues setup for everyone. Okay, and these have been shuffled out. Let me, just in case. What I'm doing right now is I'm recalling our suspect and location cards that we just went through doing all of our real fun stuff with, and I'm going to shuffle it for us to have for when we are actually doing our gameplay a bit later on. But for right now, these are our clue cards. So with our clue cards, because with Alice is missing, it happens within 90 minutes. It is timed. You'll get the link to be able to do the playlist. In fact, I think we even dropped that in chat so that chat can also play along with this. But at certain points, these clue cards, like at the 90-minute point, since I'm Charlie, I will start off with the 90-minute clue card. So I'm going to go ahead and take that card right now, because that is the one that I'm going to be doing. And basically what happens with clue cards is that it's something that's going to happen in game. It's something that's revealed to your character, or something that your character has known, or it's an event that is going to happen and is going to happen at that mark in the playlist. So something will happen at the 90-minute mark, the 80-minute mark, the 70-minute mark, and so on down to the 10-minute mark. So with this, okay, I was just checking chat real quick. All right. If you're having anything, like if anything was in your character sheet before and you didn't put that in there, it might be from one of our other games that got copied over. So feel free to just go ahead and delete it out of yours and put what actually exists with yours. And sorry about that. Missed that one. But yes, so we're going to go with our clue cards, and we're going to bop this around so that everybody has a different one. So Bendy, if you'll go ahead and these have been like randomly put out and shuffled. So Bendy, if you'll go ahead and take the 80. Can you repeat? Excellent. Thank you. Okay. And Bindi, also take, yeah, I've got our tech wizard in my ear. If y'all wonder, like, what's she doing? Yeah, go ahead and take the 40 underneath it. I'm going to take the 45 underneath mine. Let's jump around. Malika, if you will take the 70 and then also the 35, please. Fab, go ahead and take the 50 and the 20. And Emily will have you take the 60 and the 30. So something that I recommend with this is paying attention like right now to where your minutes are. And don't worry, I'm going to also be jumping into chat to, okay, so we had Emily. You were the 60-30, and Bindi, you were 80-40. Malika, you were 70-35. Sorry, I don't have my Zoom open right now.
Yes,
awesome.
Yep.
Thank you. Okay, and Fab, we had you at 50-20. Excellent. This is just in case we need to do reminders. I know who to, I know who to remember.
I always forget. Like I'll be like so concentrated in a text and I'm like, oh crap, I'm like 20 minutes or whatever over. Oh no.
Yeah. So with these clue cards, I heartily recommend for having those be like in the group chat, because we'll have personal messaging, but depending on the clue and depending on the event, I recommend putting that into group so that it's an event for everyone. And as soon as the time comes up, try to work it in as organically as possible, because literally there's anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes between times where it's like, then we have another event that happens. So just to keep that in mind. All right, so we have, just making sure that we've done just about everything. We're going to move off from our clue cards. We're going to go over to our actual gameplay now. Also, and I'm going to put down here our suspects. Hopefully you can see this on yours, where it's like you have your suspects. That's the person with the red tape. You have your locations, which literally looks like, you know, GPS and the location. And then you have your searching cards. And that is literally a silhouette of a person with a flashlight, like searching. So going with your clue cards, you'll be pulling suspects, you'll be pulling locations. You can pull searching when you want to investigate one of the locations without being prompted, which you completely can do without being prompted by a clue card is what I mean. So then you'll draw a searching card to find something very interesting in that point. Something that I want to remind everybody, well, not remind, well, to tell everyone is that with this game, we'll never have two players in one location, because this is a silent tabletop role-playing game. So if you're both in the same location, you're both going to be talking to each other. And it's like everything is done over text messaging. So for instance, if Evan is going to the old barn, Charlie isn't going there too. And that's not because they have beef. It's just literally because that's something to keep in mind player-wise. And yeah, I believe that is everything that we needed to set up. So we're going to take a quick break, like let's say less than 5 minutes, get a little bit of water. When we come back, we're going to go ahead into our playlist and jump into our gameplay and see what in the world happened to Alice. Yes, so welcome back to Alice is Missing. We are going to start with our gameplay. We've set up our world. We've set up our characters with our amazing cast of players. And Alice was last seen Wednesday, 3 days ago. And we are going to go ahead and jump into we're going to go ahead and jump into the game. Our players all have the same playlist and timer. I love this playlist that is set up, and we're just going to go ahead and jump in now. Players, if you are ready to go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Okay, so how would I say this? Fingers on your mouse, and 3, 2, 1.
Went down to the river, washed my sins away. Praying, 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 praying for another day. I went down to that river, washed my sins for free. The devil's on the other bank, staring back at me. I'm a dead man walking, I'm a dead man walking, I'm a dead man. Another nail in my coffin, another nail for me. I gotta look pretty when I go down. Another nail in my coffin, can't you spare one more? I gotta look pretty when I'm knocking down heaven's door. I'm a dead man walking, I'm a dead man walking, I'm a dead man. I'm a dead man walking, I'm a dead man walking, I'm a dead man. My cigarette. You ever seen a dead man talking? No, you haven't seen one yet. I'm a dead man walking, 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 I'm a dead man. I went down to that river, washed my sins for free. No one seemed to notice as I stared. I went down to that river to wash my sins away. I was thinking of you in that wedding gown. I went down to that water, I washed my sins away. The world faded away as I went down, 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 down. I'm a dead man walking, I'm a dead man walking, I'm a dead man. I'm a dead man walking, I'm a dead man walking, I'm a dead man. I'm a dead man walking, I'm a dead man walking, I'm a dead man.
Alice, look, I'm sorry about what I said the other day. I just want to let you know that I trust you and I trust your judgment in other people, and I always got your back, okay? Call me when you get this. Bye.
Good morning, sunshine. I hope you had fun last night. That guy you went home with was real cute. Anyway, I hope you had a great night. I did. I wanted to talk about Monday. We have that test with Mr. Zanderson, and I have no clue what is going on in that class. I don't pay attention. Give me a call and let's figure out, like, maybe later today doing a study group or something. Talk to you later, lovebird.
Hey Alice, it's me, Evan. You probably already knew that. I sent you a text, but I thought I'd give you a call. I just wanted to let you know that thing you asked me to do, it's been taken care of, and it's safe with me. So you can trust me with it, for sure. But I also wanted to know if you would be down to go see a movie with me. There's this new fantasy flick that came out. Looks pretty cool. It has that guy in it that you really like, so maybe we could go see the movie and grab a burger or something after. Whatever you like. So give me a call or send me a text, whichever you prefer. But I hope you have a good one. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Hey, Alice, it's me. Yeah, just calling because, you know, right about now is normally when I hear from you, and I'm not trying to be, like, overprotective, but I'm a little worried because, I'm not sure what you were doing tonight. Probably something with Dakota, I don't know. Anyway, call me when you get this, because I got this very concerning message from, like, I don't know who it is, but I think they know about us. They definitely referenced the picnic table behind the blacksmith shed. So, I don't know. They know. I love you, bye.
Hey, Alice. It's Charlie. Oh my gosh. It's gonna be so soon, and I'm gonna get to see you. It's so stupid that my family moved away, but doesn't matter. Oh, and yes, I kept on with costume design. You really inspired me with that, and so I have a welcome back home to you gift from me, because you're kind of my home. Something that you're gonna love to wear to your next Ren Fair. I'm not gonna go into details because I'm gonna keep it juicy for you, but needless to say, you are going to look so good. Queen material, if one will. All right, check. See you real soon. Oh, okay, everyone. We are going into debriefing right now. Us missing can be a lot. How are we feeling right now? Is everyone okay? It's okay to not be okay. Also, I feel very frantic and my heart is like pounding right now because it's like Evan got shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Crazy.
he died. Evan died. By an 8th grader did it. That a history teacher was grooming to kidnap one of his former students. This was like the true crimes that I watch on streaming. So how are we doing? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to know how you're doing, because, like, especially after hearing your voicemail, I was like, oh God. Man.
That really hurt. Yeah, that was emotional. That was a roller coaster. the like finding out about like the love stuff that was going on between Julia and Alice, and then being like, we got to focus on finding Alice, and then like I'm picturing in my mind like this fight, like this tussle in the basement or the lighthouse or whatever, and it was just like him trying to help and then her trying to frantically like get texts through to them so they knew what was going on, was just like rough, because like I could see it, and it like the whole like her being tied up and all of that, like it really made me think of like the moment when he found her. It was like the Lovely Bones kind of, it just felt like so I'm glad that Alice got out waving on the road for her sister.
Yeah, but it's just like I kind of wanted everybody to get out.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work that way. Are there
Yeah, it's totally like so effed up to have felt like relief that Alice made it out, even in the emotional scenario of Evan not. And this, for me, for Julia, like a very conflicting feeling of like messaging Evan because she thought that that was a way to communicate with Alice, like knowing that Alice had Evan's phone and having to message Evan, like desperately trying to get Alice's attention of like I'm too scared to hold back. Like, please love me back. Please tell me you love, like, please, like, acknowledge me in this moment. Like, I know there's a lot going on, but, and having to do that through Evan, like, just so much happening there.
Yeah, I particularly feel a certain way because like Evan was like, do you need me to come? And Charlie was like, yeah, I need backup, bring the gun. And
yeah, fought his way through there.
Wow.
Damn.
Are there any loose ends in the narrative that we want to tie up, that we feel like we need to tie up?
Yeah. Charlie texted me, Jack, I'm going to get Alice back, I swear. Also, you should probably know something. And I'm like, what a trip. What a trip. And then also, like, because this is played through text message, I even put in parentheses out of my like desperation, like, did I make contact with you? Like, because that was unclear, because we don't text each other like, nice to see you. So that was also like, I think that's why you like have a hole in your heart when you finish the game, because it's like, you know, this relationship doesn't come to like full circle. And then Evan's not with us anymore. So the last conversation I had with him is kind of just very normal and not exciting. Who gets to listen to the voice messages? That's really interesting.
Oh, we listened to them all at the end.
I didn't hear them.
Oh, you didn't hear the voice messages?
No.
Oh no. Okay. We'll get those to you. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's what we were sitting here and we were listening.
Oh yeah, I was just like awkwardly waiting. I'm like, oh, I guess this is like Cool Diamond period. No, I had no idea. Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah, no, what Charlie was going to say to Jack was you know, how Charlie kept on saying, oh, like we're family, you know, I want to come over and everything else like that. My secret was that Charlie had basically even though, you know, Charlie is just spectrum, and had some really deep feelings for Jack and didn't know how to deal with that.
Oh.
And had told Alice, and then Alice kind of stopped responding to Charlie about it. And yeah, I got super paranoid. So then Charlie didn't know how to act around Jack. And then that's why I was like, oh, I think there's something you should know.
Ooh. Makes sense now.
Is there any other, like, is there any secrets or anything that anybody wants to do for like wrapping up narratives? This is literally the time to be able to let these
I want to know
characters
what
go.
everyone's secret was.
Yeah.
It's just fun to like figure out what they are now. I'll start with mine.
Yeah, go for it. In order.
I had seen Alice last night. We snuck out and did something. So my choice was that we snuck out to I literally was like, we snuck out to the nightclub, and then the nightclub was like an actual choice. And I was like, oh, sweet, cool. I'm going to pick that. So that way it all makes sense. And I added JP in as like, well, what's something that would happen where like real life situation. And it's like, oh, like she got home with a friend. And yeah, so that was my secret.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. No. You want to
go right ahead? No, go ahead.
So mine was really peculiar. I decided I did not like who Alice was dating, but I didn't realize it was Julia. I thought it was Evan. Because it was a secret. So I'm like, oh, it's like, why is he being like that? Like, why can't he man up and talk to me about it? And then that's why I texted Julia, I'm relieved.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
My secret was, I got an anonymous message that made it clear someone knew about my relationship with Alice, and included a creepy detail. The creepy detail was that the message specifically referenced the first time that we hooked up at the Ren Fair, and like where it was, like very specific details that I assumed that meant they were there and saw it. So I suspected anyone having anything to do with the Ren Fair, but particularly Evan, was the person who knew the secret. And when Evan said it wasn't him, I just immediately started, anytime anybody knew, I'd be like, God, was it you? Like, who sent me this creepy freaking message? So, yeah.
Where does the photo of her mouth come from? Because that's like just creepy enough. And I'm like,
so
is that from the system?
And I was about to say, like, it was interesting because that is a card, right? You pulled the card that says you have to text someone.
Yeah, it's a card that the card basically says that, like, I pull the suspect card that becomes the culprit, which was CJ, and then I have to pick that he posted something that lets us know that it was him and is creepy or something, is suspicious or something like that. So yeah, that's pretty creepy. Sorry.
I was like, that is genuinely terrifying.
That's horrifying. Yes, it is.
It was
well
super
done.
horrifying. No, like, because I was like, man, that's perfect, because it's like kind of nothing, but kind of the worst.
Yeah, that's what I was going for. Didn't want to, like, do anything too like specific or graphic, but like just lips, that's really creepy.
Yeah.
Okay, is there, and feel free to answer this or not, but I believe, Evan, did we get your secret?
So Evan's secret, which was like starting to come out between him and Julia, and he was kind of like starting to get distant and cold with her in that moment, because like he felt so heartbroken that she was the one that like Alice loved. But the secret was a box that she had given him, and he hid it in a very special space that like mattered to both of them. And I was going to have it come out that in the box was basically pictures and like evidence of her and Halbert. That's the tying him back in with, basically like there's no way this 8th grader could have been doing it just by himself. So tying him in where he's the one kind of helping him orchestrate it is just kind of like, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh, this town. Okay. Feel free to answer this or not for each person, but what is something from your character that you'd like to carry with you out of this session, and what is something from your character you'd like to leave behind? Because there is no part 2 to this. This is its own, these relationships, these characters, this is it. So for me, something that I would like to, For me, something that I'd like to carry with me out of this is well, Charlie was just like such an outsider trying to get back in, but was earnest with it, like was authenticity. So I would carry her authenticity out, but I would leave behind her awkwardness and her outsider mentality.
For me, the the deep love from Julia, I definitely take with me, but the isolation, the feeling of having to keep everything from everyone, that can go. That can stay here.
Okay, so yeah, thank you all of you then for doing this experience with Alice is missing. I mean, it's different to only have the messaging in front of you, and wow, it went wild. It went to places. I would watch this on a streaming service. I'll just like say that. So if you can just like go ahead and introduce yourselves, like give your stinger, and then also where we can find you. And let's go ahead in the same order that we were doing before. Malika, we'll start with you.
Yeah, my name is Malika Lim Eubank. I'm the CEO of Hyper Rapid Media / Hyper RPG on Twitch. We do all sorts of fun, interactive stuff in a little bit too. And you can also at me at hello_Malika. DMs are open. Love to talk about games. Love to help people.
And let's continue. Oh, and my thing went down. Fab, let's go ahead with you.
Hi, I'm Fab. Fabienne is my first name. You can find me everywhere at Magical Girl Fab, but you can also see some other content I create at the Scabby Rooster. It's twitch.tv/Scabby Rooster, where we make LARP and other tabletop RPG content. And yeah, this is fun. Thanks for having me, y'all.
Yeah, thanks for doing this.
Yeah.
And Emily, please put yourself over.
Yeah, hi. I'm Emily. You can find me on social media at Emily the Spoon. I'm the director of licensing over at Roll20, which is the virtual tabletop that we used to play this amazing game today. You can find games just like this for you to purchase on the Roll20 marketplace and play on the VTT with your friends. This and many, many other titles as well. That's like literally my job is like giving you as many games to play on Roll20 that I think you should be playing as possible. But yeah, it's an amazing way to connect with your friends, with people near and far, through games. So if you do not have a Roll20 account yet, it's free to make one, and I encourage you to go check it out if you liked what you saw today.
Bendy.
Hi, I am Bendy Mitchell, aka Bendy Dinosaurs on Twitch and Twitter. Mondays and Tuesdays, I'm on Dark Galaxies Gaming, doing D&D on Roll20. So it's a lot of fun. And then I'm actually starting a new homebrew on Wednesday nights too. So yeah, that's me. Find me on Twitter and say hi.
Awesome. I'm Markia McCarty. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Markia McCarty is my name. Here it's Darth Markia. Tuesday nights, you can find me do Outbreak Undead on this channel, 6 p.m. PT, Rag and Bone. It's zombie apocalypse, but it's also 90s flavored. So what? And have I don't know if I can make an announcement about this yet, so I'll save it until next week. But there's more TTRPG fun, and if you like horror, check out Something Scary on YouTube. I'm the host, narrator, and a story editor for that weekly animated horror podcast. Everyone, thank you so much for doing this and traveling these pathways with us, and everyone out there. Go ahead and catch the VOD, especially if you didn't hear the voicemails, because it will be on the VOD. Thank you everyone so much for joining us, and huge thanks to Spencer Stark for creating Alice is Missing, and thank you Roll20, thank you Alice Hillman, JB Jara, and Knoxweiler Birth for helping this happen. And most importantly, for everyone out there, stay safe, wear a mask if you're so inclined, get vaccinated if you haven't, and most importantly, go ahead and play all the games.